So what we're going to talk today about is what is electricity. So to start out, to understand what electricity is, you got to understand what electrons are. And you've probably heard of an atom. An atom is built up of electrons, neutrons, and protons. Protons and neutrons are in the center of the atom, while electrons orbit the atom, like, let's say, the Earth orbiting the Sun. So you can see where the arrow's pointed, that is where the electrons are. They make those circular stations or ovals around the protons and neutrons. Electrons have negative charge, while protons have positive charge, and neutrons have a neutral charge. So all of the same charges, they repel each other, like magnets. When you have both negative sides pushing together, they don't want to push together, they repel each other, they go apart. So if you have, let's say, like the atoms, they're all built up of that round shell of electrons. When you push heavily charged atoms that are heavily charged negatively and you push them together, they repel each other. And then electrons, what they can do is they can jump from atom to atom, and that's kind of what builds up or makes electricity. So if electrons are loosely bound in a material, that material is known as a conductor. When a large number of those free electrons build up on one side of the conductor, that's what makes up electricity. And then there's two types we see here of electricity. There's current and static. Current is what most people think of when they think of electricity. It's like kind of like what powers your house, your phone that you work every day, things that you use. People kind of think of power as electricity, so those are kind of the same type of thing. Just power is used to describe electricity in a certain way of storing it up and then using it. So when we think of current, it is composed of a flowing electrons through a certain type of material, and again, that material is the conductor. And then static is when you can think of like lightning, or that's a buildup of electrons and then finally getting released to being lightning from one side, from the cloud to the positively charged ground. And then another, like static is also, is like it says right there on the top bullet, charge built up on an object. So when you think of like let's say you're from static, you are with like a blanket and you're rubbing it around a lot, and you get that static built up on you, then your body becomes negatively charged, and then when you touch something that's metal, that negatively charged that built up on your hands jumps from your hand to that metal, and that's what will give you kind of like that zap or that jolt or that, that shock. And then electricity is a secondary source, so that means you have to convert energy from another source to electric power. To do that, there's different types. The most well known is burning natural gas, nuclear power, and then like natural sources, you know, like windmills, or solar panels, dams. That is all natural. So those are the main concept of what electricity is and how it is used in your everyday life.